Well, friends, it's finally happened. The Biden administration has gone full Marxist. Only it's not Karl Marx they're imitating, but rather Groucho Marx. What am I talking about? Good question, but the answer is only the way the White House is rapidly rewriting the definition of the word recession to make things look not so bad in the United States by using on the American people Groucho Marx's famous line, "Who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes?" So, let's take a dive deeper than plunging US GDP as we go busting the narrative. Okay, let's get right into this one because it's a doozy. Have a listen here to National Economic Council Chief Brian Deese speaking at the White House the other day about the technical definition of a recession.
On the definition of recession, which has been an issue that I know many of you have reported on, as Secretary Yellen said on Sunday, 2 negative quarters of GDP growth is not the technical definition of recession. It's not the definition that economists have traditionally relied on.
Funny, actually, 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth is the technical definition of a recession. As this graph shows, there's no real ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then there was Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen.
Even just during the last 3 months, net job gains averaged 375,000. This is not an economy that's in recession, but we're in a period of transition in which growth is slowing.
For good measure, have a look at how the White House is also trying to spin things ahead of this week's growth numbers, which are expected to be a horror show. Wrote the White House in a blog post this week, quote, "It is unlikely that the decline in GDP in the first quarter of this year, even if followed by another GDP decline in the second quarter, indicates a recession." Well, that's us told then. But of course, they're lying. But here's the amazing thing. The media is, for once, not letting them get away with it. Or at least not all the media. Have a look at this CNN panel.
The Biden administration is trying to point out the definition of a recession is nuanced. But I got to tell you, I struggle with this. I get that why they want to do it from a political perspective, but like you can't fake this.
There is a technical definition, 2 straight quarters of negative economic growth. But you don't get to change the nomenclature in the middle of a campaign because it doesn't work for you.
The Washington Post, while more sympathetic to the Biden cause, also noted that the White House is engaged in some really cynical maneuvering here and said that the only time there was 2 quarters of negative growth and no recession was all the way back in 1947. Well, I'll tell you what, if you've been watching this show for a while, you'll know that I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. The U.S. media is increasingly tired of covering for Biden, and they are looking for every excuse they can get to get someone else to run in 2024, if not take over sooner. Now, we'll know more how bad things are when those recession numbers hit, but in the meantime, thanks for watching. I'm James Morrow, and to support this channel, please like, share, and subscribe below, and I'll see you next week for more Busting the Narrative. Bye-bye.